to the Ska History Hour with your host, Daryl Rubio, normally with Jose Rojas, but he's on his way to Supernova Ska Festival right now. The purpose of this channel is to spread awareness of ska music and its subgenres to the world. Our guests today are members of Calypso's Curse from the Orange County area of California. We've got Shane, we've got Kevin, and we've got Lou. Everyone, thank you very much. We appreciate the time that you're taking to speak with us, to share your stories and your music with the ska community. Can you each please tell us a little bit about yourselves and your role in the band? Let's start with Lou.
All right. My name's Lou, and I am now lead singer of the band. Maybe one day I'll play the tambourine or shaker when they let me, you know. Anyway, but I've had a hell of a lot of lyrics to learn, so that'll, things will change. Grew up half my life in Germany and the other half here. It was kind of cool when I was living over there. I got to witness a little bit of the globality of ska. I don't even know if globality is a word, but just the UK two-tone type thing. I've bounced around genres probably my whole life, but ska's kind of been my muse. So being able to be in this band so quickly it's amazing. Yeah. Okay.
Kevin, we can get you next.
Yeah. So my name is Kevin. I play keys in Calypso's Curse. This is the first band that I've played keys in. So I'm normally a drummer, and Shane saw me on Instagram playing vibraphone because we had done some shows together. We followed each other. We were in the circles, right? And he was like, "Do you want to play vibes in the band?" And I was like, "I don't want to carry a vibraphone every time. Can I play keys?" What a terrible choice, because do you know how much gear goes into playing keys? What a terrible decision. I thought drums was bad. Keys is worse. At least it all fits in my trunk, though.
How could it be worse?
Because there's so many little cables. There's so many little parts that you can forget. With a drum set, it's like you can kind of make it work. Like if you did forget a tom or something, or like forget a cymbal stand. Keys, it's if you forget the little USB-C that goes to the keyboard, you're done. You're done. You have no sound that night. Or if you forget your laptop or any little piece.
Right.
So it's just memorizing and making sure every little piece is there. Mm-hmm. But as far as me, I've been doing music for 20 years. Probably an interesting fact is two interesting facts is I'm a 2-time world champion in drumline. And
nice. Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I did a month-long tour of China with an orchestra playing timpani, playing American film music. It did get cut short, though, by 4 days because it was January 2020. And that's when, yep, we all know that's when COVID was. I was in China when COVID came out. So that was scary. But we got home and I was like, man, I'll never have to deal with that again. So
COVID or China?
COVID.
So you brought it to America.
Yeah.
That's what the parents say.
Thanks, Kevin.
No problem. Anytime. Shane?
Hello. My name is Shane, and I guess you can call me the band leader. I guess most importantly, I write the music for Calypso's Curse. I write, arrange, and lyrics and everything. And I also play bass and sing. I guess a little historical overview. Well, I'm a music teacher. I teach elementary band. Before teaching elementary, I did high school band for about 15 years. And before that, I was like a career student, freelancer, throughout my 20s. And yeah. So now currently, dad mode. I have 2 wonderful, wonderful daughters and a lovely wife. And finally had the opportunity to start my own band over the past year or 2. So here I am.
Very nice. Very nice. And how young are your kids, or old?
I have twin girls, and they are 4.5, almost 5 years old.
Ooh. That's a challenging age.
Yeah, well, it's also like it's also like the best age because they're super fun and playful and they love daddy and it's just a joy being around them all the time. So it is challenging, but it's also a great age.
Enjoy it while you can. Let me tell
Yeah.
you. I've got a 33-year-old, I've got a 18-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, appreciate you guys letting us know that information. Now, we see your band started in 2023. Can you please tell us about the formation of the band?
I guess that's a me question. So I've been tinkering with writing songs like the past 10, 15 years. But I never really had an outlet. I've always been in someone else's band. And it's also something I've always really been interested in. And it's something I've kind of just tinkered with. And so I had like kind of a journal of a bunch of these ideas that would eventually become like our EP that we released earlier this year. But the formation of the band kind of got the catalyst was that like I've mentioned, I used to be a high school band teacher. Um, I moved down from teaching high school down to elementary after the 2022-23 school year. So I found myself with like a lot of time. Because as many of our listeners will probably know, like being a high school band director is just an insanely huge time commitment. Your life is your job, is your life is your job forever. So I finally got out of that. And not that it was bad or anything, but I changed careers and found myself with a lot more availability. So I was just like, screw it. Like I have time. I have the music. Like I'm not currently in any bands, and just started piecing it together. Um, it took me about a year to put the band together in its original form. I went through, most notably, I went through a bunch of different guitarists, and there's a few stories there. But I feel extremely fortunate to have the band that I currently have. They're all wonderful people, and they've become really amazing friends. And I couldn't be luckier, to be honest.
Do you also play guitar?
I mean, play guitar, like quote, play unquote. I mean, I can dabble, but like I would never jump on stage with a guitar.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering if you kept going through guitarists, you said, I'll just jump on guitar, we'll just find another bassist.
No, 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 no.
No.
I'm not nearly that good enough. Plus, our Mike, our guitarist, is like an incredible player. So
Yeah.
he will he will not be replaced.
I don't know how we got him, but I'm so grateful to play with him.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I was talking to Tavis. He said that he was in your band for a little bit too.
Oh, Tavis?
Yeah.
I mean, Tavis came to one rehearsal and then told me that he wasn't looking for a big commitment. So if that counts as being in the band for a little
Oh,
bit,
okay.
then sure.
I may have been mistaken, Tavis, if you're ever going to
and
listen to
and you
this.
could tell him I said that too.
Yeah, because he plays with the Goodwin Club a lot. So
Yeah, yeah. Any
he was
band from Long Beach. I
yeah
think Tavis has played with every single band from Long Beach. It's like his career.
yeah. For the show on the 18th, he was going to try to play, but he has another gig later. But so he
Uh
couldn't play because they were playing too late for him.
yeah, yeah.
Now let's talk about the Calypso's Curse EP that you have. It's a 6-song EP. Is that correct?
4 song with an intro.
4-song with the intro. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah,
And that was self-released and it's self-titled as well. Is that correct?
correct.
Okay, got it. And you released that, what was it, January this year, you said?
January 1st is when we released the whole thing together. I started putting out singles from it, like one at a time, like late November, December of 2024.
Mhm.
And then on January 1st, 2025, I put the whole thing out together with the real artwork and everything.
Right. And whose artwork is that? Did someone make that?
Yeah, that was a collab between myself and Christian Arnder, who does a lot of like punk and ska and indie bands.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I hope everyone enjoyed it because Christian is like way too high in demand. I can't afford him anymore. He did some work for Kamala Harris on her her presidential run, and ever since then it's like, wow, okay, well, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have him help out for a little bit.
Yeah, well, he was great. The collab, like our discussions about what we wanted the artwork to be, was really awesome. And Christian was really great about making changes and listening to feedback. And it was great to work with him. And I hope we can in the future too.
Yeah, it's awesome. Now, how many band members are in your band, and what instruments are there?
There's eight as far as I can remember, right?
We know we got keys, we got bass, we got vocals with Lou there. What else is there? I know there's a 3 or 4 horn section or something.
So there's trumpet, trombone, and bari saxophone. So on trumpet, we have Mike Battaglia. On trombone, we have Carlo Bonelli. And then on bari sax, we have Josh Woofter. And Josh is a youngin'. He's like, what,
19, 20?
19? Yeah, I think he's turning 20 this year.
But you would
August.
never know it because this kid, dude, he's going to become a household name. Like he's like my favorite bari sax player, and he's like a teenager.
So in the studio, he had like one of our tracks, Oceanside, he has a sax solo. And the first time he ran through it, we were like, yeah, that was it. And so they were like, let's just get another one. And he did it again. We were like, yeah, that was even better.
Yeah.
Let's go crazy. Just do one more. And the third one he did was like, I can't believe you just topped yourself. But I remember in the studio recording that. It was the last thing we did for the night. It was like 9 o'clock. We were running late. And he just killed it. Like just laid down the tracks, everything in like an hour. I was like, okay, way to just be on it.
Yeah, so my evil plan is that I want to become Josh's manager and eventually, do the whole Elvis thing with him. No, I'm just kidding. Josh is a great kid, and I'm glad we're able to give him some opportunity, and we're lucky to have him.
Yeah. And then we also have Mike Camacho on guitar, amazing guitarist, and then we have Olivia on drums, and she's great as well. She fits the band like perfectly with her playing.
And her last name is Zonizer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Rich Zonizer is
of the Hippos
in the Hippos and in Goodwin Club.
So there's no affiliation that we know of, but Olivia admits to like having a lot of extended family that she doesn't know.
And that's what Rich said too when I told him about this.
Yeah, apparently Olivia's extended family is like massive. So who knows? We don't know.
He said he's going to talk to her at the show and find out.
All right, cool.
That's what he said. So I'm sure they've got to be cousins or second cousins or something.
It's a very unique last name.
It is, and it's spelled the exact same way too. And they kind of have a similar, like they could be relatives.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Now,
kind of like the same things, musically. I don't know. That's interesting.
Now let's get to a Jose question since he's not here. Rest in peace.
All
right. How did the name of the band come about? And let's talk about, is it about cursing people or something?
No, it has nothing to do with like the current kind of trends of curses and spells and stuff. The name more has to do with Greek mythology, specifically Calypso, who was a demigod. Calypso was basically, long story short, she was the demigod of all the sirens. And when Ulysses was coming back home from like the big war, and he got shipwrecked on like a siren island, it was Calypso who like lured him. Like she got the big guy kind of thing. But Calypso has, not only can she curse people into like falling in love, like this whole siren thing, but her personal curse is that she will never feel real true love, because the only way she can get people to stay on her island is by cursing them. So in this sad kind of full circle kind of way, she is cursed herself.
Okay, you're a big mythology guy?
No.
That's a,
I
you,
so
you've been asked this question before, probably by Matt and the Upbeat guys, right?
yeah, I mean it is people are very curious about the name. I I I'd say I know more about Greek mythology than average, but there's people out me who would probably have a bunch to say about what I just said.
Hmm.
I don't claim to be an expert or anything. I just kind of know what I've read and know what I've, kind of experienced. Um, and that's one thing I kind of know a little bit about.
Got it. Thank you. Now, uh, tell us about the ska scene in your area where you live. Well, you guys are based in Orange County somewhere. Were you guys ever in San Diego? I heard something about that you guys were originally there, or
Well, uh, long story short, we have people coming from everywhere. Um, I live in Long Beach. Kevin's in Lake Elsinore now. Olivia lives down in San Diego. Well, technically Oceanside, but she's from San Diego. Um, Carlo lives in Little China or Little Korea. I can't remember which one. And Kim, our former singer, lives literally downtown LA. So we've kind of just been loosely saying SoCal slash Long Beach slash I don't know,
Orange County,
Orange
wherever.
County.
We
Yeah,
we practice a lot in Orange County, so
yeah. We're currently practicing in Anaheim. So
and the scene? What's that like around your area? Are you friends with the bands? Is everybody fighting for the big gigs?
becoming more friends. And, obviously the scene isn't huge right now. And there's not a ton of shows happening. There's a lot of shows coming up over the next month or two, which is awesome. But well, I don't like to admit it right now because my hometown is not a super respectable place at the moment. But I'm from Huntington Beach, and I kind of grew up in like the Orange County ska scene. So I'm like a product of the third wave basically, and kind of my whole goal, one of my goals with the band, is to kind of bring back that sense of community that we had back then, like in the mid to late '90s, and um, kind of have shows that are all easily accessible, all ages, free if possible, um, and just kind of like establish that sense of community. It definitely already exists, like, and there's bands out here that are super killing it.
Mhm.
Half Past Two, the Ruffalos. I mean, there's a bunch of bands out here that are awesome and already have that community and already do the thing. So we're just trying to be part of that. And, I feel like I have a lot to give in terms of like an organizational mind. And, I have a lot of experience, especially as like a former high school band director. I have a lot of experience with running events. So I just feel like I have a lot to give to the scene and to the community, and I'm just trying to do my part and add to what is already happening,
Mhm.
and yeah, just have fun with it, really.
Awesome. Let's throw a question out there for Lou, the newest member of the band. How is it to join the band? How did this all come about with you joining the band? What's your time been like working with these fellows and your fellow female drummer? Um, Let us know.
Let's see, how did this begin? Well, I was formerly, or still am, I guess, in a caroling group, like Christmas caroling, and one chick there, she's heard some of the stuff I've been singing, like recording on my own, and I asked her to actually sing with me on some originals that are have some ska vibes. Anyway, one day out of the blue, she texts me and she's like, "Yo, my friend's ska band, they need a singer." I'm like, "Okay, like, do you want to do it?" It's like, "Sure." And then I talked to this one over here, Kevin,
me.
for like an hour, same day. Um, and then what was it, like 2 days later? I went and I don't know how long it was, but it was almost
So
immediate.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was Kim had left the band on a Tuesday, I called my friend on a Thursday, Lainey, and then she gave me Lou's number, and we talked on Thursday. 2 days later, and we had a new singer, and Lou was in by next week, by next Tuesday. So like 5 days later, Lou showed up to
Yeah.
rehearsal. Which
So Lou, did you get a CD first? Did you have to listen on Spotify to listen to that to
What
see
did
if
I
you wanted to
do?
join?
I I went there for I listened to some of the songs and I liked them a lot. But really I really wanted to do ska music and I was just it was amazing that there's originals coming out, from somewhere to keep this kind of music going
Mhm.
and bringing new stuff forward. So I don't know. Shane, you asked me to do like two covers and then did you guys create a ska version of those? Kind of, I think.
We I wanted to give Lou an opportunity to sing something that she was familiar with.
Yeah, like
Uh,
karaoke
s-
style.
yeah, so we just
Basically.
did a few songs that like a few easy songs that she already knew and just jammed them really.
Hmm.
Like we kind of did a reggae kind of jam of a Chris Stapleton song or something, and
Yeah.
something else I can't remember.
I think it was Tennessee Whiskey
It was
and
Tennessee Whiskey
Killing
killing
Me
me softly.
Softly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
great. It was great. Those two ended up taking up like most of the rehearsal. We were just jamming. It was fun.
We should play
That's
those
pretty cool.
again.
I know we should.
And so Lou, you automatically knew you wanted to be the band after hearing it or meeting the rest of the band.
It was kind of meeting really everybody because it was incredibly welcoming,
Mhm.
number one. Number two, for them to throw that stuff together for me, was, sometimes you just go and you hear a track and you sing along just to hear you sing. But this was like, I don't know how hard it was for them, but it was simple. And I don't know, we had the same humor, I guess. I don't know. That was I see Kevin laughing at that, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The
Um,
first rehearsal, Lou made a fart joke and a "that's what she said" joke, and they both hit really good.
That's
I
when
don't
you
even
know you
remember
like
that. I
humor.
just found that like 2 days ago. But yeah, so then I was just in. And plus, I mean, I don't know. I like challenges. So this was a cool project to start be on. Yeah.
And so what you said you wanted to play some ska. So were you familiar with ska a lot before that?
Growing more so in my younger years, I guess from like high school throughout most of the beginning of college, I was a lot more listening to that kind of generally music. I grew up with that. So when I don't know, I went and did a master's somewhere else in something totally unrelated. I did a lot of punk rock mostly. But I never had horn players. That was another thing. Like that's hard to come by. So every time I was in some either cover band or one that was originals and we wanted to do ska, we just never really had the people to do that. So this was a really cool honor to be part of. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I see that. And there's a lot of freedom in it, like for all the stuff that Shane's written. Like I've been able to just like dance over everything vocally, so it's cool.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Kevin, how did you join the band?
So I knew Shane from like 2018, 2019. He was in a like ska cover band. I was in like an original alt indie, the least descriptive band genre you could do. And we just ended up playing shows together. We met through the scene, and then fast forward a few years on Instagram, Shane was like he was starting this band, and I think he reached out to me for drum. I think it was drums first. And then he saw me playing vibes on Instagram. I was doing like some live busking of vibes during the holiday season. It works out well. And he was like, "Do you want to play keys?" And I ended up saying yes. I was like, sure. Again, thought it would be a lot less gear. Was completely wrong about that. But since then, yeah, I just started joining. It was like really early in the conception. I think we had the guitarist, we had Kim, so we had Kim, we had Mike, we had Shane, obviously, and then I think Olivia. I was there with Olivia on the first rehearsal. I think that's how it happened.
Yeah.
And then Yeah, which is funny because Olivia and I did drum corps together back in 2015 in Texas. So that was a weird, like, oh, you're doing this as well. It's great to
Yeah,
see.
that was a
Yeah.
fun moment. I wish I had that on film.
Yeah,
Because they both showed up to the rehearsal for the first time. They knew each other and didn't know that either of each other was showing up.
yeah, it was
Oh,
fun.
that's
I was like,
funny.
oh my God, we're in this together. So it was immediately fun. But yeah, and as far as like Lou was saying, as far as like creativity and openness, Shane will usually hand us the like lead sheet. It's like chords and lyrics, right? There's the melody. But for like rhythm section, it's really open. We collaborate a lot on like, okay, this is what we want to do here. Or like Mike does a lot of like it's ska, so upbeats, right? Like ta ta ta. But the keys, because of that, I just fill in a lot of the sound. And so it's really fun to just like, okay, here, like I'm just doing a lot of pads, which it doesn't seem like a lot. But then the other day, Lou, you had something on the like some
Yeah.
app.
I
One of,
like silenced the keys like for one of the tracks and it was weird. Yeah.
it was just completely empty, and I didn't realize because I'm just doing like an organ patch there, and I was like, wow, this fills up the sound a lot.
Mhm.
So it's been really cool getting to experiment with like, okay, I'm usually a drummer, but now I have Ableton, I have all these synth patches. Like, what am I going to choose? Where am I going to like lay off or do like the like bubble rhythm that's like classic for ska? Where am I doubling the guitar? Where am I laying out? But I mean, that's been the whole journey for me. And then Shane just kind of goes, yeah, go for it, whatever. Just a few times it's like, okay, hey, no, we want this here, or we don't want that there. But the cool part is the entire time it's been very collaborative. It's
Mhm.
very like I can pretty much do whatever I want, and I just kind of listen to what sounds good. Um, I don't know that maybe that comes off the wrong way, but I'm like, yeah, does this sound cool? Like, if so, great. If not, okay, do something different.
Nice. Let's go to a Jose question now. Jose asks, what advice would you give young musicians looking to blend genres or create a distinctive sound? We can get
Oh
an answer
gosh.
from all of you. Yeah.
Oh,
I can answer first. Find cool people, find unique people. It's every band, even bands that have like multiple conceptions. I know one of your guests was talking about this. I think it was Sonic Six. I forget.
Sonic Boom 6.
Sonic Boom Six. They were talking about it like every iteration of the band has a unique sound, and that's true of anything. So if you want a unique sound, just play music for yourself and find cool people that have like unique sounds, unique ideas.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's my answer.
Lou, Shane?
Yeah. I'm thinking. I think um another way to think about it, like I've played music with all types of people, and usually if I forget thinking genre, and it just goes with the flow, like usually during jam sessions and stuff, things just come, and at some point later you can kind of identify what kind of genre those are because like Kevin was saying, there's distinctive parts from every individual really that they might be good at and they can bring forth like in a jam session or something like that. If you
Mhm.
do that and you start hearing it and sounding good, and then you're like, okay, well, let's just keep going with this. And that would be something completely new in a way. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Um, I have a few things to talk about with that question. Um, my advice, first of all, would be to listen to a ton of music. And I used to tell this to my high school students. It doesn't matter what you play. You can play trumpet, you can play percussion, you can play whatever. Um, everybody, all of you should have a favorite pro flute player. All of you should have a favorite pro piano player. All of you should have a favorite pro trumpet player. All of you should have a favorite punk band. All of you should have a favorite jazz band. Like, that's how much music you should be listening to. Not only like do you hear it, you're exposed to these things, but you have a favorite. Like, that's how much. Um
That's great
so
advice.
so listening to music is so crucial. And I'm not just saying like having music on, but like spend time purposefully listening to music and have a goal with why you're listening to something. Um, so uh, so that would be number one. Number two is just start writing now. Just start writing. Find an outlet, like Kevin said. Find friends that you enjoy being around and enjoy playing with, and just start. Just start grinding. That's one thing I wish I did sooner. Like I might have mentioned it off air earlier, but some of the Calypso, we have about like 15 or 16 songs at this point. The first like five or six of them like were songs that I started piecing together, about 10, 15 years ago. Um, but I was always kind of like scared to write songs. I never thought that I was always like thought my lyrics were not very good. I still feel that way. I'm still very insecure about it. But I never really jumped in with like starting my own band or writing my own songs for real because was insecure about it and I didn't think I can do it. Um, but you know, it took me longer than it should have to realize that hey, writing songs is a skill. Like it's not something that just happens. It's a skill that you have to practice. And I don't claim to be an expert or anything, but that I do know. So my advice is listen to a ton of music and just start grinding.
Mm. And you wrote the lyrics to Drive, right?
Yeah, I write all the songs. I write all the songs and lyrics, and like Kevin mentioned, basically the way it works is I put the songs together. I write all the horn parts, and I write all the lyrics and chord changes and all everything, and then I'll bring kind of the lead sheet to the band, and then we'll just start jamming it. Sometimes I'll have a very particular like this has to be a certain way. This is what I want here. This is what I want there. But for the most part, I try to just let it kind of happen and treat it more like a jazz ensemble
Mm.
where it's where everyone's just kind of playing their part and feeding off of each other and kind of figuring out their own thing. And man, we have an amazing amount of musicianship in the band. And I'm trying hard like not to stifle that. I feel like the more I tell people what to do, I'm just stifling the musicianship that they have. So while there are times where I feel very particular about stuff, for the most part, I try to be hands off and let them figure out their own part, and let things kind of happen organically.
Awesome. You just answered the next question.
Cool.
Basically, the next question was typical writing and arranging, who contributes what, that type of thing.
Hmm.
I'm glad that actually led into that. Now, I see that you guys have you guys will be playing this September 26th. You're going to be playing at some brewery. Was it Radiant Brewery with the Ruffalos, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. How did that all come together? I see that Karen and Matt are going to be the hosts of
Yeah.
that.
So that's actually something I put together myself and I'm promoting. Radiant Beer Co. in Anaheim is one of my favorite local breweries, tap rooms, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
And I was just there with some friends, and I just asked the person at the register. It was a slow night. I was like, "Hey, I see like flyers on the wall and stuff. You guys have bands here and stuff. Like, who would we talk to about that?" And just got in contact, and just started working my way. This was like a year ago. Just started working my way through the proper channels, and we landed on this September night. And I was very open with them from the beginning. Like I mentioned earlier, like I'm trying to give back to the scene that I grew up in and also help it grow. And I told them like this will be a very DIY type event. We want it to be free. Everything they do at this place is all ages. And it's perfect. It's right down the street from Chain Reaction. So if you know where Chain Reaction is, it's like literally right down the street, like half a block. Um, and they have this really cool kind of back patio where the event's going to happen, and it's very guarded. There's no they can be loud outside.
Hmm.
There's no it doesn't back up to apartments or anything like that. Um so they've been having live music there like once a month pretty much. And it's a cool venue, and the venue kind of stands for all the same things that the current SoCal ska scene stands for, and kind of ska in general in the country. And they're very inclusive, and like their whole mission statement is like spreading radiating light is kind of what they say. Like they want to spread joy
Hmm.
and spread inclusivity. And so it just worked out really well. So yeah, this event is there's three bands. There's us playing Calypso's Curse, and then the Ruffalo's are headlining. But also one of my good friend Paco, his ska cover band Wondermelon is opening the night, and they're super fun. They're kind of like they're kind of like a live version of Ska Tune Network, or kind of like what the Holophonics started off as, just ska covers. But also Paco writes really fun original songs too, which I think they're going to play a few of. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Um, so really looking forward to that. And like you mentioned, Matt from On the Upbeat is going to be there live, doing kind of like a live show, and also Karen from Chase Long Beach is going to be joining him live on microphones, kind of doing. They're going to do like a pre-show thing, and then in between the bands. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The response toward the announcement and everything has been really big, and we're hoping it turns out to be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun either way. There could be nobody there, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. But everybody should come and join us for that.
Nice, very nice. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You also have another show in October, this badass ska festival, October 18th, called the Rude Girl Riot.
Yeah, yeah.
There, you guys are
Yes,
gonna
look
play
at
with a
that.
bunch of other nine other bands. It looks like.
Hmm.
How did that whole thing come about?
Well, we just got contacted by you. But in all reality, we're super stoked to be playing this event. It's kind of like a dream come true for me personally. Um, I was uh I'm just feel very grateful that we were asked to play, and I think we're all looking forward to it quite a bit.
Oh, awesome! Thanks. So you guys deserve it. You guys you're great. I love the musicianship.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that thing started out with just Lone Raspberry's reunion. They were a ska band from the mid '90s
Yeah.
that I used to book back in the day, and they were on one of my comps. And it just blew up. It just got much bigger.
Yeah, that's crazy because uh there used to be so my older sister, uh she's like 7 or 8 years older than me, and she kind of was in high school in like the early mid 90s. One of her friends down the street from us was super into ska and punk and indie and stuff in the early mid 90s. She used to have a Lone Raspberry shirt. And that's like how I found out. I feel like other than the OC Supertones, which they're kind of like an anomaly, but
Yeah.
other than them, Lone Raspberry was one of the first ska bands I found out about at a young age, because one of my sister's friends had their shirt.
Yeah. And they're finally getting the record out. Jose's putting it out on Skanking Force Media. It's the reunion show
Yeah, that's
at
crazy.
the fest. So that'll be pretty cool
Yeah.
on that one. Yeah, but yeah, you guys are deserve to be on the show.
Wow. Thank you.
Um, Now, what are your favorite bands to play with? Each of you. It could be from any genre.
To play with, like to play a show with.
Yeah, to play a show with. I mean, even past bands that you guys were in, because I know you were in
Yeah.
Polyphonics.
Hmm.
Lou was in other bands. I'm sure Kevin was in other bands too.
Kevin, go ahead.
Uh, the most immediate one that I can think of is like Charismatic Strangers. They've been on two of our shows now. A lot of fun to play with. I really enjoyed it. They're just cool people, good musicians. So I think they're just fun to watch. I remember, I think it's the bassist at some point will take out a flute and play a solo. So I always thought that was cool. Yeah, I've been in multiple bands, so I'm trying to think back of like, oh, what were some cool shows? Yeah, I mean, you start doing a lot of local shows and a lot of the bands start blending together. And I'm like, I feel like it's less about the bands and just like, oh, like this person was in this band and I love playing with them, or like this band, it's like because these people I'm playing with.
Mhm.
Mari is another like indie artist that was around here. She does like just singer-songwriter. Always loved that. Um, there's one of my friends, Anna Carmela. She does a lot of like blues, rock, and singer-songwriter stuff. And she blew up recently in the last few years, like on Twitch and all of that. I was like, dude, good for you, because
Yeah.
she's doing like music full time now as like a Twitch streamer. I'm
Oh,
like,
is that the singer guitar player that Toots plays with?
yeah, every once in a while, yeah, they'll
Hmm.
play with them. They'll play with
Sorry.
her.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Nice.
I mean, just I don't know. There's a lot of good people in the music scene that I'm just like, oh yeah, this person, this person. It's like whatever band they're in, I'm just like, oh, I'll go see. Puff, I just saw them like it's pure unadulterated funk, and Puff, they are just an incredible like they'll do like weird funk jazz covers. They're like no longer funk. They do like rock and jazz and all these cool things. But they're a super cool band. I just saw them like last week. They had a show, like a free show at the Wayfair in Costa Mesa. And just going to watch them, it was like nobody in the crowd, but I was just like out there dancing, having fun, getting other people to like move and have fun. Cause I'm like, you got to give it up for your friends.
Mm.
Like, otherwise, people are just doing the like, I'm sure we've all been there before, right? The musician stare where people are just like intensely staring at you, no emotion. And then you finish a song, or it's like they'll clap, like, yeah, that was so good. I'm like, they'll come up to you with like amazing show. I'm like, why weren't you like dancing, vibing it out, having like, why didn't you show that? It's like, because I was watching you. I was like, I know,
They're
dude.
analyzing you.
They're analyzing.
Yeah.
There's people are so deep into music that they forget you can enjoy it and like dance.
Yes.
So those are some local bands that I played with that I really enjoyed.
Right on.
What about you, Lou?
That's an interesting question because one, the only band that I've been doing like with other bands is a cumbia band, and I have no idea what the other what the other names are of the other ones, which is funny. I just know the people. But then the other band that I managed before, we played maybe like one actual show, like a public show. Everything else was for like campaigns and protests and fundraisers and stuff. So I don't know. That's my answer. I don't really, there wasn't a lot of trying to think. I mean, I could go back to high school, but then I don't even remember the names of the people I used to play with back then. I mean, the band I was in, yeah, but not necessarily anybody else. Yeah, it's a great answer, but I don't know.
I have an answer. Dan Podhast of Dan P and the Bricks or MU330.
Or Bruce Lee band.
Bruce Lee band, yeah. So we Calypso's Curse has not played with him. We would love to. Oh my gosh, Dan, if you're watching this, oh my God, it'd be a dream come true to play with you. But so when I was in the Holophonics, whenever he would come through Texas, we would typically play with him or open or something. And he was just always an amazing person to be around. Very like, man, those people that are just magnetic and everybody loves being around them. And he just puts everyone in a good mood.
Mhm.
And that's Dan. And, from the few times I think we shared a stage twice when I was in the Holophonics, and I'm pretty sure they've played with him more since then. But he's somebody that immediately comes to mind as someone who is great to share the stage with.
Oh, they're amazing live too. They're so fun.
Yeah, I think man, I think the time I can't remember because Dan has been part of so many different projects and stuff. I think one time when Dan came through Texas, it was just like as solo artist. And then one time it might have been with like kind of a band put together. I can't remember quite, but anyways, it was great.
Yeah. Cool guys. I love MU also. Now, for each of you, what changes has the band faced during your time together?
Oh man. Well, the most obvious answer is changing singers. Losing Kim back in May. She's fine. She's healthy. She's not lost. But that's been the biggest thing. Um, and that was a tough period for myself, and I'm very thankful that I had Kevin there to help me through it. Because we were all very dedicated to having Kim in the band, and she has a very unique voice, and I like her singing voice a lot, and I felt like the band could make a lot of growth with her as the lead singer. But kind of life just got in the way for her. Really kind of just boring adult stuff. She has a 7-year-old daughter, and she has like certain personal situations and that she felt needed to take priority over being in the band. Um, and she just felt like it was just too big of a commitment for her, which I totally understand, totally respect. There's no hard feelings. It's all love. We wish her the best, and me, also me personally, are grateful for the time that she spent with us.
Definitely.
Okay.
I would say there's two more big issues we faced, which was one, I would say trying to find a horn section. That took forever.
Yeah.
And then two, booking shows. Like in this climate, booking shows is so much harder. Pre 2020, I literally had a band play like 16 days out of 30 in June. And just because we could easily just call it venues booked, easy, not a problem. Everyone was so excited to play. It didn't even matter about the poll that you guys had. If you were down to play whatever, you could. Now I'm like, hey, I emailed you 3 times and I didn't get, like, I called you twice. You said you would call me back. So literally one of the shows that I booked like 2 years ago for another band, I went down to the bar and I was like, hey, you said you would email me back with dates. It's been weeks. Like, I need to know, like, we're trying to book this for next month.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, yeah, sorry, I only check it like once a week. And I was like, okay. As a booker, okay, sure, whatever. But like just trying to get people to book a show is frustrating at the very least.
Yeah, and to add to that, so we've been playing shows since August of 2024, so a little over a year. And in that time, the only show that we've been asked to play is yours. Every other show that we've played or going to play, other than Rigor Riot, is something that I've DIY'd, or Kevin and I have DIY'd ourselves and put together ourselves. And that's not a novel experience. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of bands, especially in the ska scene, that can relate. But yeah, just booking shows in general is very tough right now. And it's a challenge to get bands on and pay people fairly. And venues want way more than I think they should get for hosting live music. Obviously, it's kind of the struggle that a lot of bands are going through right now. So that's another reason why we're so thankful, like, for Radiant Brewing, or I'm sorry, Radiant Beer Co. Because they're letting us put this event on for free. Like, they're not charging us to have an event at their venue. And on top of that, they're being super awesome about everything. They're being super helpful. Josh and Paco from Wondermelon, and Josh, our Barry sax player, and myself, just last week, we spent like a few hours there filming behind the scenes for this like real commercial coming out for the event. So, and they didn't charge us or anything. Like, they're putting it together. They're down for the cause. So I'm personally hoping that this goes really well and they ask us back. They ask us to do another one, because I think it'd be a great spot to keep doing these ska nights.
Yeah, maybe you can get like a monthly thing like Junior and Eric from History of LA Ska are starting to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to echo what Kevin said, just booking shows has been a constant challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
Now, aside from, oh, I'm sorry, this is a Jose question. Aside from ska, are there non-ska genres or artists that sneak into your arrangements or songwriting?
Yeah, like constantly. I mean, I listen to a lot of bluegrass and Americana and like folk music. So honestly, I'd say my writing is heavily influenced by that. I mean, there's a lot of big artists out there. I'm on a pretty big Billy Strings kick right now, but yeah, I mean, just like anyone, like, pretty much everybody listens to all different types of music. I don't think anyone's isolated to like, I only listen to this specific genre of metal. I don't think many people are like that. So, oh, one of my daughters is trying to break into my office. Um, so yeah, yeah, I mean, especially if you listen to our music, it is very eclectic. Especially like just from the EP, like the first song, Oceanside, is like this deep reggae with like a lot of like effects going on with the guitars and everything. Then the next song is this like hip hop white boy rap thing that goes straight into Country Bear Jamboree for the chorus. With friend, the song Friends is like straight out of Disney Country Bear Jamboree for the chorus. And like 10 seconds before that, it was like some white boy rapping about, being a good person. And then the next song, Drive, sounds straight off a Tom Petty album. And then the next song, Death, it's like as indie as it gets. There's like all these, like Kevin wrote his own patch, like designed his own patch for the synth on that. And it gets really heavy at the breakdown toward the end. And and there's, if you hear the rest of our songs, like, we have a whole album's worth of songs that we haven't recorded yet. It keeps going, like I personally enjoy exploring all different types of genres and playing different types of genres. But kind of like my goal is like I mentioned, I'm from Huntington Beach, and one of the bands I grew up on was the Aquabats. And one thing that they really instilled upon me is just, exploring different sonic styles and like characters, and not being afraid to try different things. And I still admire that about that band. Like they're not afraid to try different things, even like on their newer stuff. So it's all, all of the music I write will always be like ska music. But most of the songs have, direct influence from like non-ska artists. So the challenge is bringing that all together to sound like Calypso's Curse, because we want the music to sound like us. We don't want it to sound like, oh, now they're a jazz band, and now they're some kind of hip hop thing, and now there's some kind of country rock thing. So we're, for me, the biggest challenge is bringing all the musicians together and making it sound like us, So yes, to answer your question.
Awesome.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, there's definitely influences. It's hard to name like the keyboardist, but it's just like, oh, I listened to a lot of like emo punk growing up, and there's not necessarily like a ton of synth in there, but there is every once in a while, or there's like piano or keys, and just taking inspiration from a lot of those genres. I straight up lifted one of my ideas. It's in Like You Used To, the second verse. It's just piano and voice. And I straight up stole that idea from what is it, Clocks by Coldplay. I like
you borrowed it. You borrowed it.
Yeah, straight up borrowed. Okay. And so I remember like I had this idea because I do a lot of like arpeggio stuff. Because I took piano in college, and then I just kept playing with it and just started coming up with cool patterns and whatever. So I put a lot of that into my playing, but then it was just like, oh, this is a cool like little solo piano moment. I gotta have to fill in the space. And then I was just like, oh, you know what? Like Clocks from Coldplay, that has that pattern. I could just use that for the second half of it. So I mean, it's just stealing. borrowing ideas from here and there and whatever, and then just transforming it and making it your own. But definitely a lot of, I would say for me, it's a lot of like emo, pop, punk, like all of those genres, classic rock, like all get blended into some weird thing.
Yeah.
If I played music or wrote music, it would have a ton of Morrissey and the Smiths and the Cure and Depeche Mode influence, New Order,
Yeah.
all those bands.
Yeah, and I don't think it's on purpose either. It's just kind of like where the music takes me, you know. Like especially when I'm writing, I try to be very open about like where does the music want to go? Like I try to take my decisions out of it and let the music go where it wants to.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how I try to approach writing lyrics and how I try to approach writing the chord changes. Because especially like our songs are challenging. I use a lot of extended chords. I use a lot of strange, like out of left field chord changes where like you won't see it coming and boom, it's like we're in a different tonal center. Um, so I do a lot of that type of stuff. But it's like I don't approach it from like, oh, what would sound cool? Like what do I have to do to sound like this band? It's not like that. It's typically just like where is the music going? Like what's the vibe? And just kind of letting it happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I mentioned earlier, taking that to the band and letting all their influences come into the play and trying to weave something together.
And I know one of the influences we talked about as far as like chord progressions go is Beatles. Like you have a lot of like Beatles
Oh
writing.
yeah, yeah, that too. The Beatles are obviously a mainstay in many singer-songwriters stuff. So yeah, the
Just
Beatles.
getting like modal, getting weird chord changes and weird chord progressions. Like
Yeah, I
that's
mean the on the song Drive, like the intro is uh is borrowed from the Beatles. Like the chord, how the chords work, um, is definitely Beatles borrowed and inspired. But
stole,
we change it up enough to make it not a direct rip off.
not stolen, inspired, right?
Inspired by. Mm.
What about you, Lou, with anything that you've done in the past or with this band so far?
Well, since I've been there, what, 6, 8 weeks now? I don't know. A lot of it is getting how it was originally done, but now I don't really know what genres I would say it comes from. Um, maybe what's the not Love Yourself, like that one. I realize that there's always a little bit of country in it, parts of the end of that. Beyond that, I'm just been playing with it mostly. Trying new things almost every other rehearsal.
Mm.
I don't know.
So
You
you
guys
want
have noticed
to
that.
try to instill your own style, infuse it in the music, and see how.
I can't really help it, you know. If I once I know the song, then I'm like, okay, I know the song, and now I can just play with it. Um, so I have to be able to sing it correctly. And then sometimes he likes it. So
but
yeah.
but you're intertwined with the new music. You're in there. You're helping progress all the new tunes that aren't on the EP.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then some. Yeah, Lou had a lot on her plate when she showed up because it was like here we had a show like soon after she joined the band.
Like five,
Um,
6 weeks. It was like July 19th, and you showed up like June 5th or something like that. Like the
yeah,
first week of
Yeah.
June.
so it's just like a lot of lyrics to throw at her, and then on top of that, our music is like not typical. It's like there's a lot of weird things about it. Um, so Lou did a great job kind of integrating and yeah.
It's awesome. Now, how often do you guys practice? What does the practice location look like? Do you guys rent it location out? Do you guys have a studio somewhere? How does this all work?
We during the summer we try to go like once a week. If we have a show, we'll typically like take a week off, that kind of thing. But yeah, during the summer when we're like all available, a lot of us are teachers, so um we try to go once a week. Once now that the school year has started, rehearsals have slowed down a lot. We typically try to do like every other week, so twice a month essentially. Um, and it's always right now it's based around when the gigs are at, you know. Because right now we're just kind of in gig mode. Um, and We rehearse at a lockout in Anaheim, and we're just kind of one of the bands that pays in to share it, and it's cool. It's a nice big space, and has all the equipment we need there, and yeah.
Yeah, the other weeks that we're off, the three of us actually all do vocals. So we'll actually do a vocal rehearsal usually on the off weeks.
Oh yeah, that too. Even
Yeah.
though we had a vocal rehearsal last night, but it really just it consisted of me. It consisted of me falling asleep on the couch, and we really didn't get much done. But normally we get a lot more done. But yeah, we try to do things in between. I try to just keep things rolling, try to keep progress going, horn sectionals, or try to get together with someone in the rhythm section, try to be productive every week. But it's tough because we're all adults now. Like I'm 40, so we're not. Everyone has financial responsibilities. I have kids, so anyone who's in my situation knows, like, it's tough, it's challenging, and everyone. I try to be respectful of everybody's personal lives and understand that people have responsibilities, and so it's a balance because with this type of band. Sorry, I know I'm going on a big tangent here. Should I keep going?
It's nothing new.
Oh God. Oh yeah. Yes. Yep. I am definitely a band director at heart because I will just talk and talk and talk and talk. Anyways, all I was gonna say was that this type of band is in itself is challenging because my whole goal with the members is that they want to be in the band. They want to be there and they want to invest their time and play with everyone else in the band. So it's a challenge because with that, it's like I have to be flexible. I have to let people like miss rehearsals if they need to. And I have to trust that it's a legit reason. I'm not going to go hounding people about missing a rehearsal here and there. People got to make money when they have to, and sometimes that means like, I'm sorry, but I can't be there.
Mhm.
So like it hasn't been a problem for us. Here we have people miss here and there. Like I've had to cancel a rehearsal here and there because like, oh, I have back to school night when we normally rehearse, kind of thing. So with rehearsals and with just the band in general, that's the challenge. Is I want people to enjoy themselves. I want people to feel valued. I want people to want to be there. And kind of finding that balance is a constant balance.
Mhm. Awesome. That was a Jose question, by the way. I got to give him credit for that one.
Sure.
Here's another one from Jose. How does the band maintain tight chemistry both musically and personally? You guys friends? You guys hang out?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately we rehearse Tuesday nights and like we finish around 10 p.m. and like we said, a lot of us are teachers, so we have to get up early the next day. But during summer, especially, we have more time afterwards. Us doing like the vocal rehearsals, it's a lot chiller. It's a lot more relaxed. We usually do it at we were doing it at Kim's place, but now we do it at Lou's place. Like it's okay, hey, we're just like hanging out. Like we said last, like, what was it, last night, it was just like we didn't do much. It was mostly just hanging out and chilling with each other, again, just bonding. Musically though, I will say, like, so what happened at our last show, right? Outside for the first time, I could not see my keyboard because it lights up and I use those lights as like cues. My keyboard wasn't working on one of the songs. Mike had already noticed I had issues at the beginning of that song. And then there's a part where it's just me. Again, it's just like me and Lou, and I start it and accuse Lou to sing. When I couldn't get it to work, Mike was luckily right behind me. I was like, hey, like, uh, not like I said something along the lines like, it's not working, C major, go. Right? It was like, hey, C major, go. And I just, because I had to fix my keyboard and I was like a half second, I couldn't fix it. I was like, all right, Mike. And he was already set. He was like, yeah, I already kind of figured it might happen. So I was already there. And he just immediately took over, could deal with it. Like, even though we had never practiced it like that.
Mhm.
So like that type of chemistry is great. Also, I'd probably say I'm one of the most outgoing members of the bands. As you can see, Shane and Lou laughing because it's true. So like I will get up if I'm not playing a part, right? There's like one like bang bang. I play Wiro on it, but I just get up and I move around and I'm like hanging out with the horns or just hanging out with Lou or the drummer or what. Like Olivia, I'm just like hanging out. I'm goofy. I'm always looking at people. I'm always just like smiling and grooving. And I feel like that gets like other people to like groove and laugh and remember like this is fun. And I know I bring that energy to rehearsal. So it's definitely like that helps bring that chemistry musically and just personally, right? Like it's important to have that like chemistry musically where I know I can just like throw something off to somebody else, or like if someone doesn't play a part, like our sax player forgot like one part, I'll just be like, all right, it's my part now. I get to play it. But even just that, like enjoying ourselves, laughing and smiling when we're in the middle of a song and I'm just goofing off or doing something ridiculous. I feel like that alone just helps build that chemistry. So yeah, we do. That's my answer for that question. We also disc golf. We're a big disc golfing band.
Really?
We need to get Lou disc golfing.
Yes,
unfortunately.
we are disc golf enthusiasts.
They really are.
With a capital E. In fact, that's how I met Kim. I was at the Huntington Beach disc golf course, and Kim was like down in SoCal with her boyfriend at the time, and they were there at the disc golf course for the first time, and they weren't super familiar with it. And I was just kind of there, like warming up, practicing on like the practice baskets and stuff. And Kim just walked up and was like, hey, like, do you play here often? We've never been here before. And I'm like, yeah, totally. Like, I'll play with you guys. So that's how we met Kim. And we're disc golf people. At least Kevin and I are. We're trying to get more people in the band into it. But it's, it's a sport. It's a commitment. But yeah, I try to facilitate hangs. And I try to take care of my band. I try to be like band dad kind of thing.
He had a barbecue before a show. He did a whole like street dogs, LA dogs before a show. It was so awesome. Cute. It was great.
At the show or at his house?
At his house.
At his house. Yeah, we just like went before the show. It was like a few hours before. He was like, yeah, I'll grill up hot dogs. I was like some street dogs. So I was like, great. He was like, I texted everyone about jalapenos, but I was like leaving the store already. So, and everyone got back to me like 5 minutes later. So I was already home. But apparently everybody wanted jalapenos. So I stopped by the store and I picked up a couple just for everyone who said yes.
Yeah, nice. Nice. Lou, got anything to add there?
Yeah. I'm going to say that in the beginning, when I first started, I was somewhat nervous, I guess. I don't know. I think I have a performance thing where I just have to always try and be perfect. But every time I would like try and remember either lyrics or I would do something wrong. Well, lyrics, I'd usually look at Kevin and then he just immediately is like mouthing it to me or like, I don't know, what was I doing? It was mind palaces. I was trying to do this concept of where the way you remember like how a song goes is like you're on this journey. So like for Drive, like the sun is setting on the shore again, and then oh God, what's the next line? Doesn't even matter.
To disappear.
Invite.
Yeah, inviting me to
disappear.
That's the one I always mess up.
Oh, that was great. That
was great.
I know all those lyrics of that song. That's my favorite song from you.
It's a great song, yeah. Usually I know it immediately, but Mind Palace concept didn't work. But I would draw out little pictures of what was happening in each, like, I guess, line or sentence. And then so Kevin knew what they were, and he'd kind of try and show those pictures to me. And then Olivia is actually the one where just eye contact with her every time I mess something up. She's like, "Ah, you're good. Just keep going. It's fine." You know, I hope that's what she was saying with her eyes, but yeah, I don't know. That's what it felt like. Um, but yeah, I mean, Shane's just been incredibly supportive in everything. So I'm just, I'm really lucky, honestly. Yeah. And we do
Awesome.
hang. I see him more as friends than I guess bandmates in a way.
Lou introduced me to Americanos yesterday, and my eyes are open now to it because I'm like coffee dumb. I enjoy coffee when it's in my hands, but like I don't like know anything about it. Um, and I showed up to Lou's place for the rehearsal, and I was like dead tired, like literally I was like falling asleep. Um, and Lou made me at Lou's place. They have like this actual like real coffee press thing,
From like
and
the
it, and
80s.
it's like steam. It steams, and it's like gonna explode in your face, and it does like the real thing, like a real coffee shop. And it was like the best coffee I've ever had in my life. But it was an Americano, like a some what is it?
It's just
Iced
espresso.
Americano.
Yeah, on ice.
Espresso,
And hot
espresso on
water is
ice.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an
Um,
Americano.
yeah. Anyways, that was a big eye-opening moment. Now I know what Americanos are.
Literally.
At first, when you said Americanas, I thought you were talking about the band, the Americanas. There's a band from San Fernando Valley in the '90s called the Americanas. They were an alternative band. Pretty good.
Oh,
I'll have to check them out. I've never heard of them.
Yeah. Now, another Jose question here. What's been the biggest challenge of coordinating schedules, rehearsals, and recordings with 8 members in the band?
Well,
I'm just like, oh God, it's disastrous.
it actually hasn't rehearsals hasn't been that bad. Again, like I mentioned, like everyone's adults. Like we're all like, I think we're all in our 30s. Other no, like, well, Josh is 19, so he doesn't count. I mean, he I take that back. Rewind. Josh counts very much. Let me just start over. Uh,
See, this is what I mean. Like, we always just have a good time in rehearsals. We're constantly laughing, making jokes. It's wonderful.
well, coordinating everyone's schedule is tough, but I try to be open about like, hey, like if you want to be in the band, you have to prioritize being in the band. Like I've been very open from the beginning, like this is not a like we're gonna sub people out type of band all the time. Um like we're not like I try to treat it like, everybody in the band is a member, like you're equal, like you're part of the group. And I don't think about it as like, oh, well, like I have a drummer and I have a guitarist and it doesn't matter who those people are. Like our sound and how we play and our vibe very much depends on the people that are in the band.
Mm.
So I've been very open about from the beginning, like I will do my best to be like the best band leader for you. But you have to meet me halfway and be a good band member. And so far that's been working out pretty well. Like I said, we're still our original lineup minus Kim. Um, and everyone, at least to my knowledge, seems pretty happy and we're vibing pretty well. We just probably had our best show as a band at the our last gig at the Orange Street Fair a few weeks ago. Wasn't perfect, but overall, like we all felt really good about it. We got a lot of great feedback. Um, and so scheduling rehearsals, like I mentioned earlier, we try to do two a month, and I schedule way in advance. Like I said, I'm a former high school band teacher, so I'm thinking like literally a year in advance. Like, okay, I like right now it's September, but I'm already trying to schedule, rehearsals for next year. And I'm thinking about like I'm looking at where everybody's spring breaks are at. I'm looking at where my my personal, like my concerts are, for my programs are. I'm looking at where things land for people to try to plan things. And I get the band, like, here's our rehearsal schedule for the next, like for the rest of the year. Like, look at this and make sure everything's cool.
Mhm.
So that's, it's a challenge pulling it all together, especially with 8 members, but it hasn't been too bad. There was a part B to that question, but I can't remember what it was.
Part B was
Rehearsals, recordings, something else.
Oh,
yeah,
recordings.
yes.
Honestly, the biggest challenge with recording has just been money. It's not cheap, and I want to pay people what they're worth. Um, and even just the EP was not cheap. But I was happy to pay Reed Wolcott like what she's worth, because we loved our time in the studio with her.
Mhm.
And she had a big part in putting everything together, and had a lot of great feedback for us and really helped us take the next step. Um,
And this is Reed from We Are the Union, right?
yes,
Yeah.
Reed from We Are the
Making sure.
Union. So just the money thing is a big challenge. It's not cheap. And like a lot of people like do their own kind of like in-house production and stuff, and that's just, I've never really been into recording. Like, I don't have my own recording equipment. I can work my way around a DAW for little things, but I've never really like recorded a band's album or anything. So just paying people to engineer and produce, having the money for that, for me has been a challenge, but I try to make it happen.
Cool. Right on.
Yeah. I think what helped is when we first started, it was all right, does Tuesday 7 to 10 p.m. work? And it was like, yeah, we can all carve out time. And so now everyone in the band has Tuesday 7 to 10 p.m. carved out. And we cannot change that for the life of us. There is no way we can get 8 people to go, well, what about Wednesday? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
We are forever a Tuesday night band.
That's good to know. Now, what are each of your pet peeves and addictions?
Oh my gosh. Don't start with me.
Why, is there too many, or you got to think about it?
Both. What do I want to reveal to everybody right now is the question.
It doesn't have to be anything negative.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, if anyone else says something, please feel free.
And I'm trying to think, like, what is an addiction of mine? I mean, the most obvious answer is music. It's my whole life. I'm a music teacher. I'm a musician. Like, I literally am addicted to music. I can't stop. Any drummer out there knows that, like, at any moment, my fingers are going. I have to keep reminding myself not to tap on the table with the laptop so it doesn't create the little tapping sound. Hopefully, you haven't heard any of that, but I'm constantly just like tapping on my fingers, my chest, my legs, any surface. Uh, Coffee is definitely an addiction. I know, Shane, you were like, I'm not really a coffee person. And I'm like, oh, I cannot function without it. I have like an automatic drip coffee maker, so you can program it to come 10 minutes, like turn on 10 minutes before you get downstairs or like into the kitchen. So it's like, oh, now I have fresh coffee and I didn't have to make it. It just turns on automatically. We have a cold brew in my house. I have a French press in my house. Like, I'm like, iced Americanos. I've been ordering those for like 7 years. I was like, oh, those are great.
You've been holding out on me.
Vegas I gotta be careful with that. It's not an addiction, but I just went on a Vegas trip. Like, it was like 2-day trip. We booked it Thursday night, went out Friday, and then came back Sunday. My brother and sister have been going for like 15 years. My mom has been going for like 30, 40 years. So they get all like the hookups. We stayed at like Mandalay Bay for like $100 for 2 nights. It was just the resort fees.
That's
Um, so like we'll go out there and be debaucherous. Like we get fucking drunk and high and do all the fun stuff out there. It's just like
And
great.
you better have gone to the lazy river.
The lazy river. Unfortunately, we were only there for 2 days, so I did not get a chance. Next time though. But no, it's a blast. Like I saw the demolition of the Tropicana. That was really cool, just to like watch a whole building just come down. That was crazy.
Right.
But yeah, we usually go out there for just a couple days, gamble a little bit. I figure I play penny slots. So I'm like, I usually take like 20, $40 out a night. And then if I lose that, it's how many drinks did I get? All right, I got my
Right.
money's worth out of it. And
Yeah.
I had fun all night. Like it's what you would pay for like a movie or whatever. It's like any form of entertainment, you would pay about that much. So
Mhm.
I mean, Vegas is an addiction. I would say I love going out there. Um, Anybody else with addictions? I'll think of pet peeves.
I mean, I have a drink maybe once a day. I don't know. I vape. Those are two vices, but pretty bad at it. I don't know. That's that. Let's see. Pet peeves. I don't know. Just two things. Well, singing has never left my life either, music wise. Even when I was just doing a lot of other things, studying wise or job wise, there was always music in my life in some shape or form. And now I feel like I'm kind of kicking myself for not always being so involved as they are. But yeah, because it's way more exciting, this life. So yeah. Shane?
Okay, so when you wear sandals on wet grass?
Oh, great.
I hate that. That's a huge pet peeve of mine. Sandals on wet grass. Ugh, just thinking about it. But addictions, oh gosh. Yeah, I'd say I'm addicted to creating music for sure. It's ever since I started, it's been a huge part of my life, and I don't even think about it. It just happens in one way or another. Um, I've ever since I started playing bass, I've been in bands nonstop, and I became a band teacher, and here I am at 40 starting my own band. So, my like some family and friends like kind of razz me that like it's like a midlife crisis. And I'm like, dude, I've been like midlife crisising my entire life if that's the case. Um, because I've always been in bands and I've always made it a priority to like make music. So, now I'm have the opportunity to write my own songs and play with people I really care about and who are all really awesome musicians. So,
Mhm.
if it was possible, I would love for Calypso to rehearse weekly, like nonstop, 2, 3 times a week, like the pro touring bands out there do. Obviously, that's not where we're at, so I'm not like expecting that. But if we could do that, I would love that for sure.
Mhm.
I do have two more addictions that I thought of. I still know pet peeves. Pet peeves, use your blinker. Use your damn blinker when you're merging, okay? God damn. And stop being in such a rush. Stop cutting in and out of it's fine. You'll get there at the same time. It'll be like 1 or 2 minutes faster. It's fine. So I don't know if people know this about me, like in the band, but I have an extensive rubber duck collection. Like there was one of my birthdays, I got 50 rubber ducks. So like,
But he's not a Jeep driver.
I don't drive a Jeep. No, I just like rubber ducks. They're fun. I have multiple varieties of them. I'd probably say like 80 to 100. I don't know. I haven't counted, but at least 50 that I know of and more. And then fun socks. It's one thing I think people very undervalue. If you just keep getting fun socks for every birthday or Christmas, you eventually have a lot of fun ones. And then you don't have to wear boring like black or white tube socks that are just like whatever. I mean, I'm wearing these like elf ones
Yeah.
from the Red Cross that my cousin donates a lot of blood. So she got these awesome socks for me. And I was like, great, I would love them. So like that's just like, oh yeah, I'm wearing these fun socks today, and I just have a bunch of them. I don't know if people, Shane, I don't know if you know that about me, that I just always wear fun socks, but now you do.
I've noticed.
Perfect.
I
Good.
think I have another addiction I can probably talk about. That's one is probably plants and trees,
Oh
like
yeah.
and lights. The outside looks like a winter wonderland. Like
You're you're
you do not need to go pay to go see Christmas like light show or anything. If you just come here, it's completely covered in solar lights
yeah,
that light up
Lou.
every night.
So Lou
Yeah.
has a really big backyard and it's covered in different but like produce plants, like the
Mm.
side, like one complete side of her house is covered in a grapevine.
They were delicious.
Yeah, that show Lou will climb up on a ladder to like pick these grapes herself. I've seen it, and
Yeah.
it's like, what? I don't know. I'd be too scared or afraid of spiders.
Yeah.
I've just
Uh,
gotten used to them.
this is I remember Lou's Instagram and saying this and just
Oh
being
yeah.
like, that's crazy.
It is.
That's all her backyard. I'm like,
Yeah,
That's
what?
all my brain, yeah, for a whole year.
Well, that's like one of
Just
those Winter Wonderland things that
yeah.
you got to pay for
yeah.
Right?
to drive through.
Exactly. I know. People were telling me to like start an Airbnb date night for people where they could come and sit here
Yeah.
or yeah, it's funny. It's
Yeah,
cool.
that's cool. Now, this is another Jose question. What themes or stories do you find yourself returning to lyrically and why?
Mm.
Okay. So, the lyrics are mostly about myself, and about my own personal challenges and like my own personal like mental wellness. And it's something that I constantly struggle with. Um, and like we have a song that we haven't recorded yet that's called Lead Me. And the first line of the chorus is the first line of the chorus is lead me to your heart. And that song is basically a conversation with the different parts of myself inside my own head. Um, so that's kind of a mental wellness is a common reoccurring theme. And we live in a very volatile world and it's very chaotic. And I'd say like, I often try to look within look within to fix problems or to find solutions before I look outside and try to place blame. So I really with the lyrics, I'm really just trying to send a positive message. And really, a lot of times I find that I'm writing the lyrics for myself, and I'm the person that needs to hear them. And I don't realize it at the time that I'm writing them, but that's how it comes off very often, or that's what I realize very often once they're done. So long story short, mental wellness and just trying to be a good person in a very chaotic world, and trying to send a good message.
Is it very therapeutic to get all of that out of you?
Yes, oh my God, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
I spend a lot of time writing these songs and experimenting with different ideas. And it's very much like a puzzle, like figuring out what works and figuring out how to write the horn parts and figuring out how the lyrics tie together and figuring out like how can I use a motif from this other song in this song? How can I work that in somehow? So there's a lot that goes into writing the songs, and it is very therapeutic. It's like my video games, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people like have like their hobby they do at night where like it's like cool, I have like 3 hours before I need to go to sleep, I'm gonna watch Netflix or play video games or practice guitar or whatever it is. For me, a lot of it is like writing songs or practicing bass and singing and kind of breaking down, listening, like I mentioned earlier, listening to a lot of music, breaking down, lyrics, breaking down how people write songs, and just kind of exploring that.
Good.
Definitely one of the things I know lyrically about Shane is the motif thing that you mentioned. Lou and I there's a new song that we have, Love Yourself. I believe that's the one. Yeah. And it's like, don't listen to the voice of doubt. And then in that song that you were talking about, Lead Me, in the second verse, it's the voices of doubt can be awfully loud. And that was like me and Lou both came to that realization at the same time as we were like singing it. It was like, oh, It's the same words, like perfect, that motif. That's super helpful in
Voices,
remembering. What was it like remembering both of them,
voices
right?
of doubt always keeping you down, and then it starts with that in the next verse too, which was that like hit us the day of the show. By the way, the last one, we're both like, "Did you know
Yeah,
that
we
these
were
two are the exact?" Why didn't we think of that? You know, but then it just all made sense. Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
Awesome. So we've got just a few more questions left.
Aw.
um,
This is fun. I like hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
we'll hang out in a few weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Yes.
well, I'll be running around, so I don't know how much I'll be hanging out. But
Mhm.
what does the future hold for Calypso's Curse? We talked briefly about you guys having a lot more songs. Um, any date on when we can expect some new material with, or any re-recordings with Lou's voice on it?
Well, um, there's a few things I have planned and a few I have goals. I'm a very goal-oriented person. Um, so in terms of recordings, I have three recording goals that I'd like to meet within the next 2 years. Um, I would like to record a short covers EP, um, to introduce Lou's voice to everybody in a recorded manner. And we have a handful of covers that are going to go on that. Then we have the full length, which has we have too many songs. Like there's too many songs. I have to cut a few off. Um, and some of them we haven't practiced yet. Some of them we are currently playing live. Um, and some of them I'm still working on. So we have that full length in the kind of in the works. Um, and then also, eventually we would like to re-record the EP, the our self-titled EP with Lou singing, um, because we feel like those songs are an important part of our existence, and having a recording with Lou singing on them, I think is important for us. And important for our fans or people who find us, and that's not anything bad on Kim. Like I mentioned, like it's all love with Kim. We have nothing, we're not ashamed of that EP with Kim on it or anything, but it's very tough to push those songs out with Kim on it, even and since she's not in the band anymore.
Mhm.
And like I said, like those songs are part of our vernacular right now. So having them with our current singer is important. So I would love to re-record the EP with Lou singing. So those three things recording. As far as like playing shows and in terms of our goals, there's two. Part of my whole goal with the band, is I would like the band to become well known enough that when a touring group comes through SoCal, they consider hitting us up to play a show.
Mm.
That's really kind of one of my big goals. And obviously there's a lot of different factors that go into that. But I would love it if, like, say Big D and the Kids Table is rolling through and playing Garden Amp or House of Blues, and they hit us up to open or whatever. That would just be a dream come true. I don't really have any delusions of grandeur. I'm not looking for this to become like a cash cow or anything. Obviously, I'm doing my best. Like I'm putting my heart and soul and everything I have into it. But my goals are more of the regional variety. But also I would love to branch out to different other scenes locally. I'm currently talking to some other people about booking some shows in Vegas, some shows up in the Bay Area, some shows up in Portland and Seattle.
Mhm.
So I would love to branch out and just do little, maybe like 4 or 5 day runs or week-long runs, within the next few years. And just, have fun with it just because it's fun. Like touring can be fun, if it's planned right, and if if you're not super worried about the money aspect of it. Don't get me wrong, it's very difficult, and I admire everybody who's grinding and touring a lot to make a living. I really admire that, and I know that it's not easy, and it's a huge grind. Um, but we're kind of just looking to do smaller legs and just things that we can still enjoy and get out and play and spread our music more regionally and not have to go too far. Not, I don't want to have to open up a credit card for the band. I'd like to keep it in the realm of affordability.
Yeah. So if you tour, because I know when some bands tour, they do drop some horns. Is that anything that you guys would ever consider, or is it a no-go? You have to have the eight.
I mean, as of now, we'd have to have everybody, or at least every person, every instrument would have to be covered,
Hmm.
just because the way I write, especially for the horns, the way I write requires all the parts. Like earlier this year, we played a show in Costa Mesa, and like Josh, our Barry sax player, couldn't make it. Um, so we decided to just play it with trombone and trumpet, and it felt so empty without Josh. Just the way I write harmonically and just how I voice the horns and not having that Barry sax there really made a big difference in how the band sounded. And then on top of that, Josh is just a killer musician. Like he will blow you away with how well he can solo, and you get a taste of it on Oceanside. That's just like a little snippet of like how talented he is.
Also,
Um,
also on Friends, we forgot to record a little drum solo part, and I pointed it out as we were recording Josh. I was like, "Isn't there supposed to be a drum solo there?" And so we were just like, "Josh, can you just play something?" And so it's like right before the second chorus, he plays like a little something like that. And it was just like he just made that up on the spot. He had never had to play that before. It was like, okay, that's great. That works. Next.
yeah, Josh is a jazz musician. Like he understands changes, he understands theory, and he on top of that he plays Barry sax very well. So he has a future as a musician for sure. Um, but as far as the full band, it would be tough to take the full band on tour without every part. However, we are, currently working on like vocal trio and quartet, smaller versions of the songs. And kind of paring everything down to more of like an Elton John type of vibe, where Kevin, instead of like having like all the synth patches and organ patches, it's more of just like straight grand piano type of sound. And I'll put typically I play a 5 string, but I'll put my 5 string down and just kind of jam on a P bass. And it'll just be like me, Kevin, Olivia is what we were working on last, and then singer on top of that. So like a 4 piece, same songs, same band, but different versions of the same songs. Different setup, and we'll arrange it differently to kind of accommodate having a smaller group. So we're also working on that and looking to book that out sooner or later.
Very nice.
That way we don't have to do all 8 people to, hey, does all 8, can we all do this date is 4 months in advance? Nah, I'm going on vacation. Like,
Yeah.
all right, next gig.
Exactly. That's when some bands get, I guess, have more established members. I guess I'm trying to say, older members that have families and work and all that stuff. It makes it very difficult to get a lot of things done, especially touring or get your band
Yeah.
noticed.
Yeah, and
Things like that.
actually, I think we're lucky. There, not a lot of us have. I'm the only person with kids, um, and they're young, and I have just the most amazing wife I could ever dream of. And I'm not saying that just for brownie points. Like Tina truly is just like a saint walking on earth. Um, and I could not raise our children without her. She could easily do it without me, like no problem. But I just get in the way most of the time. But she's I have a good amount of availability because she's like so giving of her time with the kids and lets me have my midlife crisis band. But I'm the only one with kids, so that does help because even though like we are slightly older of a band, like not everybody has kids they have to worry about. But again, we're all adults, and everyone has responsibilities and vacations and whatnot.
Right. Now, where can we find your music, both physical and digital?
You can find it on all of the streaming platforms.
Mhm.
You can find it on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Deezer, Napster. You remember when you used to illegally
Napster.
download
Kazaa.
Napster? Yeah, exactly. And then physical media, we do have physical media. We have CDs and a bunch of merch as well. That's all thanks to Shane. And you can only get that if you come to a live show. So we got a couple shows coming up. You should come to one of them to get some physical merch. Because look, one of my like favorite local artists, she actually took down her like EP or her first like album because I have her CD in my car. Like it just sits in the little side panel. And so I'll just throw it on every once in a while. I'll just be like, oh yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to find it on Spotify. And I went to her page, scrolled all the way through, and I was like, oh, she doesn't have this anymore. I was like, ooh. And I got her to sign it when I bought it for like $5-10. I was like, can you just sign it? She's like, yeah, thank you so much, Marceline. I was like, signed original copy. No, you can't find it on streaming platforms. So the physical CDs are cool.
Yeah, and actually about Spotify, like one thing I've been considering is taking our music off Spotify for, political and cultural and just reasons. But I wanted that to be more of a band decision, and we haven't really had a chance to talk about it because we've been in gig mode all summer. So our music might not be on Spotify for much longer. If I had to recommend one place to go hear it, Bandcamp. You can download the EP, like super high quality. Um, and and just the way Reed from We Are the Union recorded it. The entire EP is recorded in mono. This is like kind of an audiophile thing that I don't think a lot of people know about. It's like a secret about the EP. The entire thing is recorded in mono, and it booms into stereo at the breakdown, like the big heavy bridge in Death, the last song. But you'll never know it unless you're listening to it in headphones, or some kind of stereo setup. Um, because like you just won't know it and you won't hear it. You'll just hear everything in mono and not think twice about it. Um, but then like once you get to that point in the song, it just booms into stereo and it's like an amazing moment. And that was something that Reed wanted to try. And she was like, I have this idea. It's kind of crazy, but let's see what you think. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it turned out to be awesome. So you can hear that really well with the files on Bandcamp. Plus, we get the biggest cut of the music from Bandcamp. So that's just to add to what Kevin said. We don't have any vinyl yet. I do plan on print or pressing the EP in vinyl. But just to be honest, I just haven't had the money to pay for it yet. Like I said, I'm trying not to have to take out a credit card. I'm trying to keep everything affordable.
Mm. Have you guys tried out Tidal yet?
I'm sorry?
Tidal, Tidal, for streaming platform?
Yeah, so our music is on there too.
Okay.
It's not, I think I have the app on my phone, but I haven't been using it. But it's in the back of my head of like something to try for sure.
I think Boss Selecta, Diana Hernandez, who's going to be a DJ at the Rugo Riot, I believe she works with Tidal. So she's
cool.
a big advocate of that. That's how I learned about it, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I know the name. I was like, I have no idea what it does, but that's cool. I'm definitely gonna download it now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now here's Jose's last question. He says, picture the Ska History Hour viewers discovering Calypso's Curse for the first time. Which track should they queue up and why?
Death. I mean, I have the most fun on that track. Like Drive is cool because it's just like a huge rock song. It's super cool. I play like the boom bum bum ba-doo. Like I play that like melodic line in the beginning just on roads. But Death, I get to play this huge B3 organ with a Leslie speaker. And right in that big bridge, it's just I'm playing massive chords, just a massive sound. I just remember doing that Uh, and it just reminded me of like Black Parade, like huge epic my chem moment. And like that's what I was going for and listening to on the record because that's where it goes stereo too. Oh, it's just I love it. Plus, I also have like a cool little synth patch I designed myself that I was like, oh, this is a cool sound. But definitely like the bridge out of Death just sounds awesome. It's always fun to play live too, but
Yeah,
that's my one song. If people are going to listen to, go listen to Death.
right on.
Yeah, it's we only have the EP so far. So, and on top of that, there's only 4 songs on it and they're all different. So there's a little bit for everybody. It's funny because I think Matt Vest from On the Upbeat heard Oceanside first. Like, that was the first song he heard of ours, and he just assumed we were like a reggae band, and then didn't really think anything else of it until like way later. I was like trying to get us on their show, and he's like, well, you guys like aren't really a ska band. And I mean, to be honest, to be fair, I don't know, are we a ska band? I have no idea.
Scott Jason.
We're
Yeah.
ska. I mean, ska is always what's going to be in my heart, and it's what I think of when I'm writing the music. But I'd say just check out the EP. It's only like 16 minutes long. There's 4 songs, and they're all lovely in their own way. And I feel like there's not one song where that has been the stick out. I've all the feedback that I've gotten, everyone seems to have a different favorite song. So it's tough. I can't really say. In terms of like how fun it is to play, Death is a lot of fun to play.
Lou, what's your favorite?
Well, I liked Death a lot too mostly because of the lyrics, honestly. Well, singing it too, and the lyrics were hardest to learn, but it's such a story and like a good reminder of how to like view death and remember that it's fantastic to be alive, but also acknowledge what might come and embrace the things that you have now, kind of thing. So that's what I liked about it the most, I'd say. Singing it, I mean, it's pretty dope. Generally, yeah. There's such a vibe to it, and I feel like there's just so many emotions in that song the whole time. So
Yeah.
that's how I'd say it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of you guys kind of touched base on this already, but since we know that ska doesn't pay the bills, if you care to share, what are each of your occupations? I know we know Kevin's.
But you don't.
Oh, we do. Okay, let's start
But
with you.
I also sell luggage on TikTok.
Okay.
So I was like, I was a live streamer for like on Twitch since 2020, and that skill apparently translates to being live on TikTok shop selling luggage. So I do that, and then I also teach music and I play music, and just got hired at Six Flags to do their Oktoberfest band. So that'll be for like the next 2 months.
Oh,
Uh,
really? You have Magic Mountain right here, right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, my daughter works there.
Oh my goodness! I want to. Me and your daughter can be friends.
She's a scare actor right now.
Whoa.
I love that. My brother and sister-in-law were scare actors for like 4 years at Not Scary Farm.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do it, but I was in high school at the time, and they wouldn't let me be out till 4 a.m. So
Make sure you hit me up with you when you're in the area. I'm only a couple of miles away.
that's so perfect. Yes. Okay, I'll be there for like 9 days straight. Like starting in like a week or so. So I'll hit you up.
Perfect. You can sleep with me on the couch.
There you go.
Yes. I got 5 other members. I don't know how many.
Yeah, could the band come over?
Yeah. Anyone else care to share? You don't have to share, but if you want to, you can.
My stuff's just super random. Okay. Let's see. I am in this very random job that is kind of inspecting buildings and high rises and homes if they're gonna like survive an earthquake or a fire. That's like one thing that I do on the side. Then freelance software engineering, you know,
Mm-hmm.
those are the 2 things right now that bring me some kind of money.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
I imagine Lou to be this kind of like Neo from the Matrix type of character, like cyberpunk kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I get from Lou.
Follow the White Rabbit.
Yeah, yep. And I think I mentioned it. I'm a elementary school band teacher, fourth, fifth, and sixth grade.
That is awesome. Awesome. Now, hold on. Oh no, okay. This is the part where I normally ask about t-shirts, but we're not doing that one. Normally I ask if we're all wearing t-shirts, what you're wearing. We've got Spider-Man. Shane, what do you got?
Plain black shirt
Plain
is my
black?
good. Yeah.
Lou, what you got?
Leather jacket, and a onesie.
Oh,
Like a
right
yeah.
on. I'm just wearing like a regular shirt.
Lou's constant is her vape on the lanyard.
It's
Never
right there.
really
It's right there.
It's so bad.
Is it all flavored stuff that you like?
Mm-mm. It's just menthol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Now, any last words that you have for the fans of Calypso's Curse and the viewers of Ska History Hour?
Platypus.
Harry?
I love you,
Harry the
Kevin.
Platypus?
Harry the platypus. Thanks for listening. I can't believe you sat through all this, but that's cool. No, I mean, honestly, like, but heartfelt, genuine. I really do appreciate it. I love being in this band. I hope you all who are listening enjoy it and like it too. And what a cool opportunity to be on this podcast, to be on the show. Like, I truly appreciate it. This has been a cool experience. You're super fun to just hang out with and chat with, obviously. And then getting to hang out with Lou and Shane. I mean, we hang out all the time anyway. So this is just more fun hangout time. So yeah.
Even though you're at work still.
Yeah, right.
I know.
I was okay, low-key, I was worried because they scheduled a student at 7:00 and I had to like walk in and be like, I had to cancel that. And they were like, oh no, we already changed it. I was like, cool, great. And then I thought I would have, so I bought a like magnetic charger and a dongle that I was just gonna return. Like I bought it from Walmart and I was just gonna return it like tomorrow. But I thought I would have to do this in my car, and like I was worried my phone would die and I didn't have headphones. I was like trying to figure all this out, and I was like, oh well, it's literally fine. I can just do it from this like teaching studio. But no,
we appreciate you coming on here and buying the dongle and all that stuff too. That's great.
Hey, we make it work. We always just make it work. But thank you again. Seriously, this is a lot of fun. And I would just say, like, go listen to our music, come to a live show. Honestly, I would love to meet anybody who's listening at a live show. Just be like, hey, we heard you on the Ska History, and be like, cool, absolutely. Like,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Support live music. Go to shows. Just get out there, prioritize it. It's what makes it all possible.
Thank you.
It'll always make your day better,
Yeah.
Honestly. Just meeting everybody there. Yeah. Listening.
Yeah.
Especially our show. Yeah.
Yeah, especially our show. Come to our show.
Yeah.
So September 26th, Radiant Beer Company, you guys, Ruffalos, and Wondermelon. October 18th, Rude Girl Riot Ska Festival.
Woo!
San Pedro at the Sardine on 2 stages. Lots of bands. Going to be a good time. Everyone, we thank you for sharing your stories, being a part of this, taking the time away from your families and work and vaping. And
I haven't done it once this whole time. Oh man.
And thank you very much. Hold on real quick. Jose, tell us about the Ska Box.
Hello, Skankers. Jose here, aka Skanking Force. Would you like to win a free Ska Box? It's as easy as following Ska Box Rocks and Sniff Dog Records on Instagram and Facebook. And subscribe to Ska History Hour on YouTube and comment Ska Box Rocks in any video to enter. Good luck!